Let's consider this. It's saying for u equals the fifth root of 1 divided by x to the power 8, show that du dx, in other words, the differentiation of u, equals, well, what you can see in front of you. So let's move on and have a go at showing this to be the case. We have already seen part of the solution to this problem in the previous video of the playlist. In this video, I'm going to go through it quickly and then show you the additional steps needed to show this. So we can start off by showing that u is the fifth root of 1 over x to the power 8. Now we can write this out as 1 over x to the power 8 in brackets, as you can see here, and that will be raised to the 1/5. Moving on, I can bring the x to the 8 to the top to make it x to the minus 8 and raise that to the 1/5. We then can multiply the indices of minus 8 times the fifth to give x to the minus 8 over 5. So we can write u equals x to the minus 8 over 5. And I can go on to say du dx. Well, you bring the power down, which is the minus 8 over the 5. That will multiply the x with the power of minus 8 over 5, having 1 subtracted from it. This will go on to be minus 8 over 5 x, and we can see we then have minus 13 over 5. In other words, this calculation here gave this result. The last video in the playlist got as far as this. In other words, if you have this for u and you differentiate, you will get this result here. But of course, this is not what we can see here. We've got to go a few steps further in order to show what the question is asking for. Of course, we know we have minus 8 over 5, x to the minus 13 over 5. Now I can write this as minus 8 over 5, x, and in brackets I can write 13 times 1/5, which is 13 over 5. This will then equal minus 8 over 5, x, and I'm going to put x to the minus 13 in brackets, and outside the brackets I'm going to put 1/5. Of course, on our work on indices, we should know that this minus 13 is multiplied by this 1/5, which is what we had here with our calculation. So it's legitimate to go from here to here. Of course, we can make this equal to minus 8 over 5, and in brackets I can put 1 over x to the 13, and all that is raised to the 5th. And of course, what I've done, I've brought this x to the minus 13 to here, and it's 1 over x to the plus 13. And of course, this power of 1/5 remains in this position here, raising what's in the brackets to the power of 1/5. Continuing, we can say this is equal to minus 8 over the 5, and we can have here the fifth root, and in the root we have 1 over x to the power 13. Now we're able to put the fifth root here because this is the power 1/5. To summarize, we started off with this, and we found we could express u as shown here. Then we differentiated u with respect to x to give us this. I copied this to this position, and then I applied the rules of indices and went through all of these steps to give us this. And then, of course, because this was a fifth, I could put a fifth root here. And if you look at this, which is now the differentiation of u with respect to x, it's exactly what the question asked us to show here.